Well, Andrea, my wife, is back. You know, people loved you when we did the Range Rover review.
I know. Can you believe that?
Yeah, they loved
Couldn't
it. So
believe it.
you're hired.
I'm in. I'm not fired. I'm hired.
Yeah, that's right. The opposite of Donald Trump. All right. So we're looking at the GLC from Mercedes-Benz. And you're probably wondering, what's a GLC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The GLC replaces the old GLK, which was really boxy.
Yeah, and kind of like that lifted station wagon look.
Yeah, but that vehicle had some great attributes. First of all, it was the winner in its category from Canadian Black Book, so it held the best value after 3 years. And JD Power and Associates, their dependability study, also was a category winner. So reliable and good resale in a Mercedes package. You can't beat that.
No, that sounds really good.
So this is GLC, which is different.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, you might remember, I drove the new C-Class and I loved it so much, I picked it as my overall car of the year that year.
I remember that.
So this is, the GL means SUV, C means C-Class, so it's based on the C-Class. So hopefully good things to come. But you like the outside, don't you?
Oh, I love the outside of this vehicle. It has sleek lines. I love the pointy, long hood. And some of these vehicles have that pinched back on them. This doesn't have it. It's nicely rounded, and I think it's a great balance looking vehicle.
Between a car and an SUV.
Yeah.
But the other thing is it's the newest in this category. So the X3 has been out for a few years. The Q5 is ancient. You look at, you know, like a Volvo XC60.
Yeah.
So this is the newest in this batch. So being the latest means it has the advantage. But we're looking at the 300, which has a different engine inside, and it has the AMG appearance package. So in this car, you see it has 19-inch wheels, and there will be, I know you're going to like this, the 43 AMG coming in the fall with the bigger engine. Which might be a consideration. So on the outside, it's bigger than the previous model. That affords more interior space. So let's check it out inside. All right, babe. I love the C-Class because of the interior. I think that they really stepped up and it's a class leader, and this picks up where that one left off. What do you think of the inside of the GLC?
I love the interior. It's absolutely beautiful. Tons of storage, comfortable seats, gorgeous leather.
Leather's not standard. If you want leather, you got to pay $5,000. Sorry, you get $5,000 to get the premium package, which gets you the power tailgate. You're going to want that.
Have to have that.
Command navigation, that's the bigger screen. It goes from 7 inches to 8.4, which is the one we have here.
Right.
And the panoramic sunroof, okay?
Yes. I like that. I like that for light.
Okay, you go from faux leather to leather for $2,250. So that's $7,250 of add-ons that I would get to get it kind of the way it looks here. So you think that's the way to go?
Definitely the way to go.
All right, so you don't get leather as standard equipment, but what about the back seat? We have teenage boys and their friends. What did they think of it?
They loved it. Lots of space. Lots of storage back there, and they found the seats very comfortable. The only complaint one of them had was that there is a bit of a
too much tilt?
Yeah, a little bit. And I could see him trying to adjust it, but it wasn't a deal breaker.
All right, now this screen is the bigger one, and you have this command unit here. It's got a swipe feature on top or the rotary dial beneath it. They're kind of redundant. They both do the same thing.
Yeah.
Which one did you use more?
I use the swipe feature the most. It can be slightly glitchy. It moves a little bit faster than you want at times, but it's something you would get used to.
And you like the rotary volume instead of the turn knob?
I loved it.
So all of these things you do get used to. And the graphics on the screen are brilliant and easy to read. And the materials in here are first rate. Other than you don't get leather seats as standard equipment, it really feels well made, doesn't it?
Really well made. Beautiful.
All right, let's find out how it drives.
This is the part I like.
Now, you might not know, but the previous GLK had a 6-cylinder. That was the engine you got.
Yes.
Or you got the 4-cylinder diesel. So Mercedes is doing what everybody else is doing. It's funny, we're driving behind an X3.
I know, isn't that ironic?
And all of the manufacturers are going to 2-liter turbocharged direct injection engines, and that's what this has. And that means that they're downsizing the engine in order to save fuel. Yep. So this car has 241 horsepower, exactly the same as the X3.
Wow.
Yeah, like dollar for dollar. But it has pretty good torque. The torque is rated at 273 pound-feet. Now, what do you think driving this vehicle? Does it feel anemic? Does it have enough power?
No, it has tons of power. I was actually really surprised when you told me it's a 4-cylinder turbo. Right away, I thought it's not going to be very fast. It's not going to have a lot of power, but I was completely wrong. It has lots of power in the city, lots of power on the highway. I got to tell you, I'm impressed with it.
You know, one of the reasons why this has a 9-speed gearbox, 9 gears at work here. So the computer is always keeping the transmission in the right gear, either for efficiency to get the best mileage or for power. And you can adjust. There's a dial here where you can adjust the different settings from sport to comfort.
Yes.
And I've been using, I think both of us have been using the sport mode the most. But it's amazing, you know, you get a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that replaces a V6 and you don't even notice.
You don't even notice.
But there are more powerful versions coming, and we both like diesel. There will be a diesel too.
Just for fuel efficiency.
So here's the real question. Could you see yourself driving this car?
I really could. I really like this vehicle. It is so fun to drive. It handles great. I don't really have a lot of complaints about the engine.
Mm-hmm. Now, we noticed that the windshield is small. Like it feels like a car. You're looking out over the hood, which I like.
Yes.
But the distance between the dash and the headliner here is quite shallow. So sometimes, like when you got the visor down, it feels
That's
small.
when I noticed it. Is I had the sun in my eyes, and I put the visor down, and I kept looking. I kind of had to crouch down a bit, and I couldn't figure out if the dash was too high or if the window is quite narrow.
Yeah, it is. Now, what about the transmission, like the toggle switch and putting it in park? I like it. I got used to it years ago with Mercedes, and I think that's the way to go. It opens up all of this real estate here.
Yes, I'm used to having
a shifter, right?
The shifter on, you know, in the console area, but I like this because guess what? This is where my hands are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just easy to shift back and forth, and the park button, you just pop it once and there you go, it's in park.
Okay, babe, this car is 44 grand. You think there's value there?
Huge value.
You like it?
Love it.
All right, you can add more features. Obviously, we talked about all the different packages and equip it the way you want. There is a V6 turbo coming in the fall. It's going to be much more powerful, and a diesel maybe next year. So the way it sits now starts at 44 grand. On the outside, what do you think? What are you going to give it out of 10?
I give it a 10 out of 10. I love the outside of this vehicle. Beautiful lines.
All right, I give it a 9. I think you really do need to get the AMG appearance package, around $2,500. You get the bigger wheels, and you have to almost spend to get the premium package to get the power tailgate. So the price is a bit deceiving. All right, on the inside, out of 10.
I give it a 9 out of 10 on the inside. Beautiful leather seats, tons of room, lots of storage.
By the way, the leather seats, you have to buy the premium package to get them. But I do love the added space. There's much more space than the old GLK, much more cargo space, and the C-Class was such a winner based on the interior. This picks up exactly where that left off. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 on the inside.
Okay.
All right, overall driving.
Overall driving great. Love the engine. Super
Out of 10.
fun
You
to drive.
gotta give me 10.
Out of 10, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay, why do you like it?
I like it because it was just fun and peppy. It was great for taking corners in the city.
And the power?
Handled well. Power compared to my diesel is not comparable, but my car's a lot more money.
All right, now I would give it an 8.5. I think that the handling was great. I love the added space, as I mentioned. I'm going to hold judgment until I get to drive the more powerful version.
Okay.
And overall, what do you give it?
I give it a 9 out of 10. I think that it's the class leader for this category.
Well, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. As I mentioned, I don't want to hold off until we get the more powerful versions, but it's great being the newest in the category.
Yeah.
There's some competitors that are really kind of old, like the Q5, and this really picks up where the C-Class left off, which was my car of the year 2 years ago. So I think a lot of people, this is going to be money well spent. And babe, excellent job. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to watch a review of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Click the picture on the left.